So let's move into the final thing, which is this idea of authority content. It's a really powerful strategy, and circles back around, like if one of the biggest challenges you've got in your business is how do I stand out from the crowd? Specialization is part of that. You've got to clearly identify that target audience. But then the next piece to it is then you have to get the word out. You need to be omnipresent, and you need to make sure that you are front and center in front of that target audience, and you stay front of mind. So when they're ready to make a decision, you automatically pop into your mind, or you help move them closer to making a buying decision. This particular strategy came off the back of what I did with Melbourne SEO Services, because it was probably the most effective marketing strategy that we had inside Melbourne SEO Services, so much so that I wrote a book about it called Authority Content. It has to do with taking events, chopping them up into pieces, turning them into articles and podcasts, and basically syndicating them around. So I want to share a little bit about that. It'll help because it feeds exactly what Mike was asking right at the start of this webinar. It will help to feed this automated marketing machine and create content that can then get fed into your emails and help with warming of prospects. So let me just swap to my iPad here, and feel free as well, just queue up, write it down on a notepad or something for yourself. I'll take some questions at the end about anything that we've covered today. But I just want to jump in here, and we'll talk about authority content and just give you some ideas. And what I'm going to talk about kind of fits incredibly well with the strategy that I shared with Dan Lenny. So let's have a little bit of a look. I'll just make sure, if you want to just type into the chat if you can see my screen again. Just give me a yes if you can see my iPad. I'll just do a little smiley face. Yeah, perfect. All right. Okay, perfect. All right. So this idea of authority content, and you just start off, it starts off with some form of event. Now, the reason I love an event is because it has a specific date when it happens, and usually there's going to be a group of people that come together to listen to you or someone present and share information. And it's that positive constraint of setting a specific day when that's going to happen that makes sure that it happens. And the event could be a variety of things. It might be a live event. It could be a webinar. It could be a podcast of you interviewing another subject matter expert or an authority. Whatever it is, it's this idea of creating a large amount of content in one particular sitting that potentially can then be broken up into little pieces. So if you think about it, and I'll use this example over here. So let's say this event can get chopped into, let's say it was a webinar. I mean, it could be a webinar like this that I've got right now, or maybe it's something that I've interviewed someone on. Maybe that event, there might, if someone sat down and watched this and did what we call time coding, that basically means someone watches it and says, "Ooh, at 4 minutes 35 to 10 minutes 04, that right there is a nice little video that could be chopped out, and then that could make a good little YouTube video, a standalone video that shared a nugget, a helpful bit of information that helps the target audience." So you start off by running the event. Could be a variety of different ways. You then have someone time code it, as in they watch it, and then you get it chopped into little pieces. Once it's chopped into little pieces, each video, you can have a video. You might also get it transcribed. You might also have some sort of podcast, like you got the audio from it. So already we have 3 bits or 3 assets potentially that can be repurposed. Now that video, you top and tail it, you put a nice little intro on it and a little outro, and then you might upload it to YouTube. Then after YouTube, you might also, so that video, let's say down like here, that video might also, you've got the transcription. So you take the YouTube video, you get the transcription, and then you put it on your blog. And then you watch to see which ones perform best. And then those ones you might basically email out to your database or your prospects or people that you're currently talking to. And you also share it on socials. We're talking Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, Instagram, groups, there's loads of different things that you could do. But if you think about it, using this strategy, you have one live event, potentially you could get chopped up into 15, 20 pieces, depends on how long the event is. Then we've got a YouTube video that can be optimized for YouTube. We can do a blog that could be SEO'd for SEO. We can send it out to our email. The best performing videos could make it into your autoresponder sequence. That kind of speaks to what Mike was talking about. You cherry pick out the best ones, and then you add it into an autoresponder sequence that's then part of your marketing automation. And then you share some of the best ones over the top to your social media platforms. Each one of these is a different piece. Now, when you think about it, everything that happens really underneath here, there's no magic here, as in it's just a syndication. It's a mechanical thing. That is a process that can be very easily turned into what we call a content machine and can be executed by a VA. Yes, it takes a little bit of work at the start to set it all up. But once it's set up and this turns into a machine where all you have to do is have a monthly podcast or run an event every couple of months or a webinar or whatever it might be where you get to share some expertise. And even if you don't have expertise yet to share, just like I showed the example with Nick Ruddle and interviewing other experts in the landscaping space, that then can become the feeder for the rest of this content. This is how you create this omnipresence, because then you start to, you've specialized, you've picked your target audience, you've then given it a strategy to a VA to start connecting with your target audience on LinkedIn and on Facebook. You're now connecting with the right people on LinkedIn and Facebook, who is your ideal target market. Then you start posting consistent content to them on social media. It's speaking specifically to their industry and something that they're interested in, which breaks through the noise, stands out from the crowd. They watch a little bit of that content and go, oh, that was a good YouTube video. Then they head back to your website and then they opt in for the free report or the letter or the video or the full version or whatever it is. You have a lead magnet that draws them back to then get onto your database. And then on your database, you then have this email sequence, which helps to position you as the authority, the expert, keep building you up, sharing case studies, and they're on your database, and you continue to send them content. You stay front of mind. And then when they're ready to make a decision or they need your services, you're ready to go. I'm telling you now, this strategy right now is a game changer.